Aloha. What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com. The Hype, episode number 246. $2.4 million card we're going to discuss. It was very hyped up, name of the show. We're going to discuss the details of that and what our opinion is. There's a few people in this room that were very far off on that price. So we're going to, now that we have the data, we're going to discuss that. We've got some cards that are doing well in a down market that we'll be talking about. We also have 2021 Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary Baseball. It's about a year late, but hey, it's here. It came out today. We're going to discuss the checklist, a couple big chases in that product. Also, we'll let you guys know if you're going to want to buy into a break at Mojobreak.com, whether it be Flawless, whether it be the new Platinum Anniversary. We got a code for 15% off, code BELL, B-E-L-L, code BELL. Save 15% off on any break on Mojobreak.com for a very limited time. So we put these out on our podcast, so they are flash sales. So 50% off is a lot. It means ramen for the rest of us around here when you use that code. But we want to give it back to you guys. So speaking of Bell, there's some big news coming out of the sports card community, a big release that I don't think any of you guys have heard about. Me and Cody planned this prior to the show, and it is a doozy, guys. Taco Bell selling a giant Cheez-It.
That is, that's going to be right up. Is that real?
Yeah.
If you know anything about Portnoy, he's a huge fan of Cheez-Its.
Oh, wow.
So this is going to be a big deal for the Barstool guys.
Interesting.
That is a Crunchwrap Supreme, right?
And tostada, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It looks pretty good. I think I want to say Pizza Hut, and I think they're the same company. I think they're under the same umbrella.
Is there going to be pizza Cheez-Its?
Pizza Hut came out with a pizza Cheez-It.
I think that's correct.
But it was, we didn't see it over here. You know how they tested it out at certain markets? It never made it over here, but yeah,
Which one would you rock? The tostada? I think you got to go with the Crunchwrap Supreme.
I mean,
you got to go big boy status.
pretty much, they're both the same thing.
There's no
tortilla
flour tortilla.
There's a tortilla on one. That's the great thing about Taco Bell is that they have like 30, 40 different items, but it's all the same 6 ingredients.
So bravo to them for finally adding a new ingredient after, 50 years, 50, 60 years in business?
They just borrowed the fine Cheez-It brand.
Yeah.
They didn't invent the Cheez-It.
No.
Thank
you, Nabisco.
I wonder, Nabisco, good knowledge. I wonder if it tastes like a Cheez-It.
We'll have to see. I will be first in line.
I would imagine it just tastes like a giant.
I don't know if you can just. It's like they did Honey, I Blew Up the Kids and just put a Cheez-It in there, and that's how they made it large.
Yes.
I don't think any of the people prior to the age of 30 know what movie you're talking about there.
Really?
Don't think so. You know, the great
because they had Honey, I
Rick
Shrunk
Moranis.
the Kids, and then you had Honey, I Blew Up the Kids.
Yep. And then don't forget Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
Yes.
The spin-off a few years later.
Straight to video on
Yeah,
that one, right?
I think it was.
Straight to VHS, probably Betamax or VHS at that time. Is Taco Bell the number one? Let's do a roundtable before we get into sports card talks, as we're losing listeners here because they came in for the sports cards, not Taco Bell, but we're talking about Taco Bell on the show. Where does Taco Bell rank amongst your favorite fast food places of all time?
Not even close, man.
Start with C-Red.
Okay. This is a very simple one for me. When they have the Mexican pizza, it's in the top 3, possibly even top 1 or 2. But if they don't, if the Mexican pizza, they haven't had the last year and a half until it came back, they're
I think it's back.
Top 20.
I think it's back.
The Mexican pizza.
Dude, it's the same thing.
That's the
I will
Cheez-It,
say, no,
man.
the Mexican pizza is back, although I think they just sold out.
Yes, they're
They
currently
sold out.
They are
But they have the ingredients to make it.
Yeah, they could make it if they wanted to. They just don't want to anymore.
Me and my wife ate it when it first came back. We ate it every single night for over a week.
It doesn't travel very well.
That's why it's sold out.
You can't do DoorDash on that one. You got to get it in. You got to.
You're
eating it as you're going through the drive-through.
So that's why I would rank it, because that was such Taco Bell was one of those places as a kid. My parents would take us maybe once a week to get that as one of our fast food places, and dude, that Mexican pizza is just ingrained in me.
Cody, where does it rank on your your all-time list of fast food.
I think, you know what? I used to be a snob and be like, why would you go to Taco Bell? There's like, especially being like in San Jose and the Bay Area, like there's a million amazing Mexican restaurants.
Why would you go?
Only Mexican people are allowed to say that.
Why'd you go to La Vic's when you go to Taco Bell?
Fair
That's
enough.
what I would say.
Fair enough. Well, that orange sauce is undefeated still.
Well,
But those, I guess, aren't considered fast food, right?
No, yeah. Anyway, but nonetheless, I think I've come around to realize, you know what? Taco Bell holds its spot, and all around it's open later than most fast food restaurants. And what
The fourth meal.
what really sets it apart, the Baja Blast is not only the best soft drink you can get at any fast food restaurant, it is maybe the best soda ever invented.
That's an exclusive, too.
Exclusive. Now you can get it in stores now. Every once in a while, they'll have like a limited release in stores, but just based on Baja Blast alone, it's top 3.
man, it's a straight up gold is what it is. Number one in my heart. I had it. I cut out fast food for a long time. I had it on Monday. Just blew my mind. Like literally blew my mind.
back?
What's up?
Took you back?
Took me back. It was, dude, so good. So good. I mean, everything about it is good.
I don't think I've had a bad meal at Taco Bell. I think it's my gold too, and I don't even think who I could put second, third, or fourth because I don't really like any of the rest of them. So,
Dude, like, I mean, I get it, but without that Mexican pizza for me, it dropped. I literally stopped eating Taco Bell when the Mexican pizza disappeared.
see if they did Crunch Wrap for me, it might be over. But there's so many good things on the menu. Just
Cheesy
to be
Gordita Crunch
Yes.
is solid.
Oh,
It's
God.
as good as it gets.
Okay, this reminds me of one thing now. Now we're talking about Taco Bell. This Taco Bell, Cody, it's got to be your number one, bro, because when we were in Vegas, you spent a whole evening in the morning after all the other events.
Not an evening, 3 in the morning. And they had to reset. Of course, if you know the Taco Bell Cantina in Las Vegas,
Oh, it's packed.
There are some great Taco Bell cantinas, but the one on the Vegas Strip is the one. And yeah, me and Joe over at Mojobreak Gaming had to show him all the great things that Vegas has to offer. It was his first time, so well, we have to go to the Taco Bell Cantina. Got there at 3:00, and the entire system had to reset. So we were there until 3:30, waiting in line.
Did you get your Baja Blast?
Yes, I did, and I instantly regretted it. It was. I enjoyed it in the moment, and then as we were walking back to the hotel, went, bad idea. Bad idea.
Yeah.
Throw a little vodka in that thing at that time of the hour.
Yeah, it was bad.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
So bad, so good.
I'd say Jack in the Box is definitely up on the podium though.
If we're going like big time fast foods, and if we can get off it after this, but Carl's Jr. I think very under. Yeah, very
Chick-fil-A,
good, very good.
I'd rank up there. It's climbed up my ladder.
Chick-fil-A is. I just don't got the time, man. I can't wait in that line.
Too long.
You could DoorDash Chick-fil-A, thankfully.
I don't know if it travels well. Fast food doesn't travel well.
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. But Taco Bell, if you get like a burrito or a taco, it's fine. DoorDash. Not the Mexican pizza. It doesn't travel well. Soggy by the time you get it. But let's get into some baseball card talk. 2021. Yes, I said it. Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary. I think we're looking for Wander.
No.
Are we looking for Neil Cruz? Okay, no, we're going in the Wayback Machine. This took a long time for them to make. It's a 700 card base set. It is the 1952 design. The iconic Mickey Mantle is the design, and you've got a wide range of players, including all the 2021 rookies, which is Joe Adell, Ryan Mountcastle. So it's odd timing. I know we got solicited this, I think, a year and a half ago. Probably supply chain issues. Not sure why it took this long to come out, but it's here. You've got the hobby version that's on Mojobreak. Shop.com at $169, and you have the light that doesn't guarantee an autograph. The hobby version does guarantee an autograph, and the light version is at $89.99 if you just want to collect the parallels. And I believe there's 4 mini diamond parallels that are exclusive to the light version. So, but yeah, big checklist. Got a lot of old school players. Ty Cobb. You've got, each team is well represented with some of their lineage of players, like Lincecum on the Giants. You've got the, everybody that you could imagine except for Wander Franco and O'Neal Cruz. And I think the big chase right out of the gate, besides some of the great autograph subjects they have, is the 2021 anniversary Mickey Mantle SSSSS. I don't know. There might be 10 more S's on there. P. 1 in 11,416 packs this card is available in, and it's 1 in 40 hobby cases, give or take. 1 in 40 hobby cases. There's only one currently on eBay right now. for $15,000. It is the iconic card. I don't think this card's been reprinted like this
I was just about to ask
recently. So is that the right price? I mean, what do we think that these end at?
I think that goes for a little bit less than that. I think it might be a $3,000 or $4,000 card.
That sounds about right. 3,000 or 4,000.
I think $15,000. I mean, only one on eBay right now. Going for it. You know, pitch them high, watch them buy. Technique.
You can make an offer.
You could, yeah. I mean, you want to?
I might. I mean, there's a certain point where at 15,000, I mean, you could throw another $5,000 on there. You might get a PSA 1 of the real thing. Maybe 30,000.
No.
Double
Tried.
the price.
I guess that's
Tried last night.
That's the real question. Would you rather have a PSA 10 of this card or a PSA 1 of Mickey Mantle?
PSA 1 of the OG. Yeah,
without question.
You know, and that's what's great about the 52 Mantle is that you don't really even care about the grade. You just want one. You know, I'll take a 1. I'll take a 0.5. I'll take half a card. You know, that in itself is what you just described is the beauty of vintage. It's like you don't necessarily go for the grade. Of course, you want the higher grade, but they're all valuable, right? Right.
Especially the big names.
And I mean, not to go into the history of baseball cards, but for those that don't know, the reason why the actual 52 Mantle is so scarce, it was the first year that Cy Berger was making cards, and he had so much of this that the 53 set was due to come out, and he didn't have any room in his warehouse, Topps' warehouse at the time, and he was literally trying to give it to dealers at the time, and they didn't want it. So his solution was to dump a bunch in the ocean or a lake. I don't know exactly, a body of water where he dumped it at. So it made more scarcity amongst the Mantles, because I believe there's a 51 Bowman Mantle, because this is technically not his rookie card. But it's known as his most valuable.
I want to say it was dumped in the Hudson River.
Hudson River.
Maybe.
Good knowledge.
I mean, I could have just made that up too, but I think I remember hearing that at some point.
Yeah.
That sounds good for the environment.
I know, right? Exactly.
It's biodegradable.
It's too bad cards. Right? Too bad you couldn't dive and find them. Cards don't really in water doesn't really work for it.
Never know, man.
Do you think there might be a PSA 1 down there on the Hudson River floor?
Could be.
Try it out.
I'll tell you right now, a PSA 2.5 sold for a little bit over $48,000 last night.
Yeah, just low pop all the way around. So that's where this set is centered around. Like I said, it came out a little like a year or two late.
Now, do you think there's a rainbow version, like other like paralleled versions of this card, or is it just the refractor?
I think it's just the refractor. So if you look at the checklist on one of those main checklist sites, it has the 700 card base set, and those have superfractors, red refractors. That has its own category, just says SSSB.
Man, I mean, a superfractor of this would be pretty dope.
That would be pretty cool.
That would put it over the top. Yeah. That'd be a huge chase, right?
Yeah, that would be huge.
Correct me if I'm wrong, too. Doesn't some of these 2021 rookies, they're like, aren't they playing well now compared to their rookie seasons?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, right now, Jazz Chisholm is in first place among NL second basemen for All-Star Game, and I think he is probably the breakout star of the 2021 rookie class. Ryan Mountcastle, Dan's favorite, is actually having a very nice season for Baltimore.
He's a good ball player.
Baltimore might be better than we expect very soon.
They just read they had their first winning month since 2017.
Jeez.
They play in the wrong division right now. If they were not in the AL East, they might be making some noise. But there are a couple guys. Those guys for sure are at the top of the list. I guess my question is, and again, this was a product that was planned for a while, but it's the 1952 set, and it's an anniversary set. Then it should be the 2022 class for the 1952 set for doing a 70th anniversary, right? I know last year was 70 years of Topps and all that, but
it's a weird and wacky question.
Yeah,
Cody, I don't know.
Well, it's
I don't have an answer.
Well, it's like when they do like the 25th anniversary of a team, but it's like, oh, it's been 25 years of that team, but not the 25th anniversary per se, because that's an extra. I don't know.
I don't think when they drew this up, it was supposed. I think a lot of things changed when this product was like even went into the early stages of production. I mean, Topps wasn't owned by Fanatics when this product was first even decided what was going to happen with it, or if it was even going to happen. So I think some things have changed, and I don't know. I mean, maybe because it is an all chrome design, obviously those cards I think take a lot more time at the printing facility. 700 card set.
I was going to say, 'cause most of your series ones are only 350,
yeah,
right?
I mean, with 700 cards on a checklist, it sounds like they made a fair amount of it. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're coming out, as far as I know, at 2022, there's going to be a chrome platinum set as well.
Is there?
Yeah.
Confirmed.
71st anniversary.
I think they probably talking about it.
I think you got to do it every 5 years, right? You can't have 71, 72, 73, 74.
You
That's
do
what Heritage is
you
for.
do it with Heritage.
Yeah, but now
Why can't you just make Chrome Heritage?
Because there is Chrome Heritage. They're inside the Chrome bags.
Yeah, but this
Or
is not.
Heritage bags.
No, we like that standalone product.
I mean, I opened a box yesterday. I watched some of Greg's breaks today, and I mean, there's 165, I think, autograph subjects. So you have everybody you would want vet-wise. You got Trout, you got Soto, you got Vlad. You even got like older like Beltre, Julio Franco. So it's a really big autograph checklist. So there's going to be a lot of surprises probably if you open up a lot of this. There's really no inserts though. So you're only getting this design and then parallels of this design. And it's formatted like a Chrome, 24 packs, 4 cards a pack. So there's that. I think this is going to be really popular amongst the set builders. I'm already seeing that trend on Twitter where people are initially buying into breaks, buying the team they want. If you're a Tigers fan, they want that Ty Cobb. They want that Ty Cobb base. They want that Candelario base or whoever's in there for the Tigers. And I think you're seeing a lot of that. Plus, you have the high-end chase of the Mantle or the Super Fractor autos. So I think yesterday I was kind of down on the product. Now seeing this, I think it's going to do pretty well. I think it's going to do pretty well, similar to how like a Series 1 or a Series 2 does well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting into a break, don't expect it to break like Definitive.
Yeah.
It's not that product.
What do you mean?
It's not that product. It's not Dynasty. There's a lot of packs, a lot of cards, a lot of shine.
It would have been cool if they would have thrown in like 1 or 2 original 52 Mantles in there. That would be nuts.
Wow.
That would be crazy. I don't know if it's possible. Probably wasn't in the budget.
Where do you find that? You go diving in the Hudson
No, you
for
got
that as
to
well?
probably buy one on eBay for $48,000.
Raw?
Or you go into the vault, the top vault.
Yeah, because I don't think any of them are raw now.
I wouldn't have the stones to buy a raw Mickey Mantle 52 and think it's legit.
Just one pack in the run's going to be a little bit bigger because it's going to be slabbed.
You wouldn't even be able to tell.
I mean, if it came out of a Topps product and it was raw, then I would feel a little better.
What if a redemption
There you go.
for a graded?
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
because
how you
I don't think you can't put a raw Mickey Mantle card in there.
No. Yeah.
Redemption makes sense.
Redemption makes sense, yeah. And that would be a huge chase, even if it was a 1 or a 2 or whatever. So,
Make it sound like we're all pro redemption. Redemption's the way to go.
Yes.
Everybody's like, these guys.
Pro Redeem Team. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see some of these mantles pulled out of our breaks. I know we have more. We have random team breaks and some more PYTs on the website at Mojobreak.com. Use that code BELL. Save yourself some money. Get into some platinum and rock it.
It'd be cool, though, if they did make parallels of that and you get a 52 Mantle PSA whatever if you build the rainbow. So you get
taking the upper deck bounty approach.
Yeah. So,
Crossover. I like it.
all right, we can move on to the.
So
next segment.
Dan got himself a Lamborghini, a yellow Lamborghini.
Thank you.
He's going to ride that thing to the National just to show it off, flex, because he's Hall of Fame for that Mac Jones shield that he pulled. So it arrived in the mail yesterday, and he's got it in front of him here. It's sitting right next to Ken Griffey, Reds Ken Griffey there. And there it is. It's the yellow Lambo.
Well, I'm taking it with me to the National. Take photos with it. Actually, I should set it up at the booth, and everybody can take photos with it. It's the Mojobreak, Lamborghini.
We'll just use the same technology Taco Bell used to blow up the Cheez-Its.
It's
Hit the reverse button.
It's the
get Dan
bounty.
in the Lambo.
It's the
Here we
bounty
go.
that I got for pulling the Mac Jones. But I already got mine. There, it's right there.
Let me ask you, how do you think that's pronounced right there, Dan? The actual car name.
Urus.
That sounds like it's right.
I thought you knew. Yeah, you acted like you were knower of all Lambo things.
I
So,
do like that model though, but I don't know
yeah,
what it's
I
called.
think I'm not a Lamborghini guy. Well, I am. I am a Lamborghini guy. I think it's worth like $250,000. Like not this specific Hot Wheel, but I think in real life, I think it's a.
Is that the car version?
No, this is like the SUV.
That's their
Oh yeah, I
SUV.
saw an orange one on the road yesterday.
That's their SUV. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one, I think we saw that in Colorado. Remember?
Yeah, it was the same one. There was an orange one on my way home yesterday.
guy was struggling through the valet line.
Yeah, it should have been behind the wheel. Well, when you drive a Lambo, you do what you want. Speaking of that, I don't know if the gentleman who pulled the triple logo man on the old whatnots, I don't know if he's gotten his yellow Lambo yet. I want to know.
got mine.
I'm curious.
I got mine.
I'm curious if he got it. If anybody could let me know, I've been looking. I've been going on.
I can let him test drive this
I
one.
believe it was J-Mo was his name? J-Mo who won it or something like that. From Backyard, I think he won the yellow Lamborghini as far as I know. Actually want to know if he got it because I'm interested. 'Cause
Well,
that's
if he
cool.
didn't,
That's
he could
pretty
take
cool.
a picture with mine at the National.
Yeah, that's true. You should get a little mini version of you made standing next to it.
Like a Lego man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I like that.
So speaking of big pulls, we're here to talk about, I know somebody was in our comments saying you guys didn't talk about the Logoman last week. Just for you guys' knowledge who listen to this show, we record on Wednesday, and sometimes the full version of the video doesn't come out to the following Monday. So it's actually a 3-day gap. So yes, the auction happened on Sunday, but we recorded it prior to that. So we're here. We're like what's that show, like yesterday's news last week or whatever? That's what we're doing.
Last week tonight.
Last week tonight, yes. That's what we're doing. And so the triple logo man was up for auction, golden auctions. A lot of hype behind it. People saying $5 million, $3 million. I said $3 million. I think C-Rad said $100 million or something like that. And Dan said what, $5 million?
I think I said 6.
I think Cody said 5.
I think I said 4 or 5. Yeah.
So I won.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about it last week. It's just not that big of a deal. Just
Oh, it's a big deal in the hobby.
Hobbies moved on.
no, man. It just we moved on. We moved on from this card. We're on to the next biggest and greatest card coming out.
But it's funny that the hype had us all thinking it's a $5 to $6 million card. I mean, I even heard Shine offered $3 million before it was pulled. Now, obviously, he must have not got involved in this auction. But if nobody would have set a price, I think we would all have been like, holy crap, it sold for $2.4 million.
You think the potential damage on the card affected what the final sell price
I mean,
was?
that's definitely a conspiracy that the card, and I can't confirm, I've tried to find pictures. It almost looks like the card came out without damage, and then somehow before it was graded, it got damaged on the Cavaliers window. Don't know exactly what happened there. I did do a slide on my phone that I posted on my personal Twitter. Is you have that of when it was pulled, and then you have that after it was graded.
Yeah, you don't you don't see the indent. There's like a little scratch indent on the sapphire foil on the other
So now
photo.
people, I tweeted it out. I tagged our buddy Ivan at Watch the Breaks on Twitter. I tagged him in it, and he was saying it's there. It's just the lighting.
I actually see more white on the left side of the logo.
And Cody, because Cody can't see it either. But yeah,
I know what you're
definitely-
talking about, though. I've seen
you got it. And then if you go back to the other one and zoom in, there seems to be less white. Like, did the patch shift?
I was trying to figure out at what point why there would be any reason for anybody to damage this thing. Because
nobody did intentionally.
If you were the breaker, you would never take it out, right? Because for those guys that aren't familiar with Flawless, that card was encased. So it's uncirculated. That's what the word uncirculated means. Is it's got the Flawless sticker on it. It's in a magnetic. So there's at no point the breaker would ever actually physically touch the card. The breaker wouldn't be putting a sleeve on it, because I know a lot of people in the comments were saying it was sleeve damage. So I was like, no, it's not sleeve damage, at least by the breaker. So now, once it got from the breaker, and I think the people that hit it flew out and took pictures with it, the 3 people involved, and then at some point it went to PSA, and it got labeled authentic. So now the conspiracy theory is, well, that's why it was authentic, because the patch was damaged. So it would have got like a 6 or a 7 or maybe an 8, and it would have looked bad. So they went with an authentic PSA grade as opposed to actually a grade. But it clearly looks like to me that it wasn't damaged when it got pulled. So how do you damage that? Why would you want to take out the patch?
I think I need to see another photo of the card now. Like,
yeah. Trying to find the other pictures of it.
I mean, we're getting all your flight information, so that's good.
Yeah. See, I had the before. I had the before and after together here too. To me, it clearly looks like the after is damaged and the before is not.
To me, it also looks like the patch shifted.
But it's also could be the angle of the picture, right? So.
But I'm like, could the patch have shifted and like damaged, like creased the card underneath? Get what I'm saying? Like could there have been like underneath, like the damage is actually from underneath, and you're noticing it on the foil, but it actually got caught underneath, like when it shifted.
Maybe pushed it up a little bit. I mean, and this is the same Logoman, right?
Yep.
Looks clearly like you see the line on the leg.
A lot of the lines match up. Same.
Yeah, the end looks the same, right?
The stitching on it all looks the same.
I mean, I don't know any reason why you would take the patch out, but it actually looks like on the before, though, it looks like there's more threads. But it could just be the picture.
It does. I don't.
It's probably the picture.
Probably.
But yeah, I mean, regardless, $2.4 million. Some of the excuses of why it went for that price is because of the damage to the Logoman. I mean, in this instance, does the damage matter? It's a 1 of 1, right? Unless it's really, really damaged.
There's a reason why they didn't get this graded and just got it authenticated.
There's also, I think if you zoom in, like you could see right there above the screw line, there's a little bit of an indent. So there's definitely some imperfections on the card itself, which is common with Flawless, which is ironic because it's not flawless in a sense.
Man, that like from that photo, it's super noticeable on the Sapphire that like there is a ding.
I mean, it could be a phone picture. No, that's that's a golden photo, so it's a high quality scan. It could be just that. I don't know. But yeah, obviously it's clearly damaged on the left side. But there was a lot of big spenders that came out and said that this is a $5 million card. Shine saying he's going to pay $3 million. Why did it go for $2.4 million? Is that a fail?
And Golden put a lot of marketing dollars behind it.
Right. And that's 2.4 with the buyer's premium. I think it ended at 2.1 technically. So I think you add another $300,000 for the buyer's premium, which is silly to say.
Yeah, that's you got to keep the lights on.
$300,000 for facilitating
very,
the card.
Very expensive electricity.
I think that I had pretty big thoughts that this was going to sell a lot, and that would sell for more than it did, I should say. But maybe our standards need to shift here, and that we can say in this market, the fact that sold for $2.4 million is still probably a huge win. And I mean, again, take yourselves back to the beginning of 2020 and to 2019, and if you were told this card is going to sell for $2.4 million, does not have a LeBron James autograph on it, and there may be some discussion that has a ding,
non-rookie,
and it's still going to sell for that much. That's still a massive win.
I think it sells for more. I think it sells for more back then. I think in 2020 this sells for look what everything was selling for.
I think at the peak of it for sure, but like before that. But nonetheless in 2021, if this sold last summer, it's probably a $5 million card.
Could be 10.
Let's get in the DeLorean and let's say it's 2012. What does this card sell for in 2012?
About 80,000.
Yeah, maybe
50, maybe.
Can any of us that had been breaking, which we were in the hobby back then, can anybody ever see a modern card selling for $2.4 million? That's what's crazy about it, is like the hobby's let down that it only sold for $2.4 million, bust. But it's like 5 years ago, nobody could ever imagine a card selling for over $1 million. Out of a pack.
And I don't think that this the last time this card is going to exchange hands. Like I think it's going to sell again, and probably when things turn around, if they turn around, economically, I think it still probably sells for more than that $2.4 million price tag.
You know what's funny, and I don't take this as advice because it's not, but there was a Warren Buffett article that came up and that somebody asked him where they should invest their money in this market. And he said sports cards. No, he didn't. But he said fine art. He actually said fine art, which is...
That's kind of... That's you can put that under that category, couldn't you?
I would.
I don't want to say, like, take all your money out of your 401k and out of your stocks and go buy triple
fine art is
Logomans,
very-
but I'm just saying.
That's kind of like a subjective. Like, what the hell is fine art, man?
Right.
I mean, a Picasso's a Picasso, 100 years from now, 10 years
but
ago.
to me, Picasso is worthless. Like, I don't care about Picasso, so I wouldn't pay $10 for a Picasso.
Hot take.
Probably do it.
Ooh.
What's
Probably.
Pablo Picasso ever done? Did
Probably
Pablo
do it.
Picasso put up 50 points against the Celtics in Game 6?
man.
Eastern Conference Finals? I think not.
Yeah, does
Wow.
Picasso have 3 Logomans on 3 different teams?
Did LeBron James cut his ear off?
I think it's Van Gogh.
It's Van Gogh, but history of art going down.
Still, I'm labeling them all in the same category. Picasso, Van Gogh, same guy.
I mean, Picasso had plenty of paintings with people without ears, so there's that.
There you go. Is that the one with the face? The
All the abstract art and stuff
Who's
like that.
the modern day GOAT when it comes to
Fine art?
Fine art.
Ooh.
Because it almost seems like they unfortunately have to like pass away before they become like worth a bunch of money.
Well, I think this is, and I think that might be some of the arguments for people of like why you're seeing a lot of artists getting
Kincaid.
into Thomas Kincaid there. Why a lot of artists are getting into like
He's a name that people know, though.
He is. I mean, very, very popular. But I think it's why a lot of artists are getting into like sports cards is like there is this for the last 50, 60 years there's been a melding of like pop culture, pop art, starting with Andy Warhol, that I think is just like gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
And I think it's cool, but like, is there? And I'm naive. I don't really know the fine art market, but is there an artist out there that can put something on a canvas and go to an art show and sell it for $500,000?
Banksy?
I was gonna say Banksy.
Banksy.
Beeple.
But that
Are we
NFTs.
both making up names right now? I don't know who those.
No,
people are.
I know Beeple made $80 million off of NFTs.
Exit
And-
to get art. Great
NFTs, but that
NFT art.
isn't. I'm talking about physical. Warren Buffett, he didn't say go buy NFTs. He said
No.
go buy fine art, which you can say, I guess NFTs could be under
And
that
I think what
category
he's
as
trying
well.
to say is that you can quantify and you could put money on stocks and you can see it go up and down. But like if you have a rare something,
buy something that is the value. The value is subjective.
yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at is that if you have this piece and maybe when the economy comes out of if we get in a recession, if we don't get in a recession, but when the economy is good again, now you have a price tag that you can name and somebody will pay, right? Whether if you're investing in stocks and once again, this is not investment advice because I'm an idiot and don't listen to me, but I think that's what we're trying to say is that people look at some of this stuff as pieces that they have to have and somebody else might be willing to pay more for something like this.
Fine art.
Fine art. Sports cards are not fine art, so I'm not saying that. I know the comments I'm a blast.
I mean, Warhol and Basquiat is the only two that come to my mind, but again, they're not like current.
Post like 50s. Yeah,
Basquiat's
you're right.
still
There's
around?
not a
No.
ton.
Basquiat's not around.
No, he died very young.
Like mid or late 80s.
Yeah,
I think.
he was like in his late 20s. I want to
Yeah.
say.
So we had some other notable sales. Were these also in the same golden auction? run?
Yes.
So what do we got here?
Some other notable sales. I'll get them up on the slide here. The 1 of 1 flawless RPA Anthony Edwards sold for $426,000.
That blows my mind.
Yeah. A BGS 9.5 orange Mike Trout sold 2009 Bowman Chrome Mike Trout sold for $228,000. And in what was actually a pretty big dip, I think I've seen some other folks cover this. The 86 Fleer Michael Jordan PSA 10 sold for $204,000.
You can
but
buy-
it was a pretty substantial.
But the reason
dip.
why that Trout sold for another $100,000 was the diamond. The Mike
Yes,
Ba-
yes,
the Mike-
yes. That's
the
right.
Mike, the
Sorry.
Mike Baker diamond.
I
on
apologize.
there.
Yeah, the diamond. Yeah.
It would have been $100,000, but Mike Baker put that.
But
sticker
you could
on
almost
there.
buy the Trout and the Jordan
Yeah,
instead of buying the Anthony Edwards.
but the Anthony Edwards is the second best card of all time of his.
Yeah, it's a flawless. It's not NT.
There's 25 Trouts and there's countless numbers.
Yeah, but
There's
I mean,
170
are we
PSA 10
are we
Jordans.
comparing the career of Anthony Edwards to
No, I'm
to
saying
Michael
that
Jordan?
It would be a number to 2 Trout or a number to 2 Jordan, basically. I would never pay $426,000 for.
I mean, and
Edwards.
I was talking big about Anthony Edwards. I think that card went for way more.
What would you think it would have went for if you didn't see that price?
180 maybe.
So with that being said, I mean, the Mac Jones should be more that we pulled than what, I know basketball sells more than football. Is that in line, C-Rad? Is that price right?
I guess.
Is that price going to stay if they get Rudy Gobert, which I saw some rumors swirling? Minnesota might be getting Rudy Gobert.
Listen, I think
which would be
Ant-Man's
wild.
going to be a great player, too.
Yes.
But he's still on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and that organization has a lot of proving to do.
Yeah.
$500,000.
By the way, the LeBron Exquisite RPA,
So for
2.1 million.
Number to 23, though, right?
Yes.
So wasn't there, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there a number to 23 one that sold for like $5 million?
Yep, there was. Now, that was a 9. I think this was, what, an 8.5? BGA said 0.5?
And was that 23, I think, maybe?
No, I don't think it was.
No?
No.
not
that's a-
no the
The
one
one
that's
that
the one
sold-
that sold for $5 million. I think was 23.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So maybe it was the number, like technically the 101 version of that particular card.
That's
They're
like
all
it.
they're all 101s. I mean, if you want to break it down, whatever number this was, there's only one of that number.
Haha.
I'm just saying.
That is surprising, though. The freaking Anthony Edwards at $426,000. I mean, that explains why flawless prices have gone down a little bit because even that one's gone. Now, the LaMelo auto,
Has been pulled.
it's been pulled too.
Scarelli.
So then that should be worth the same amount, if not more,
Hey,
right?
it should be worth more, right?
I think the same. I think I've seen Timberwolves actually sell for more than Hornets recently.
Really?
Yeah, after the playoffs, I think,
Sentiment has
I think they're pretty much
switched
on
to
equal footing.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
If anything, they're even now.
Yeah.
It was because he was in that Adam Sandler movie. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, he
if
was good.
LaMelo was just in that movie, it would have been the same amount.
He was good, too.
He was.
Kermit Wiltz, was that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah. Good movie.
it was. So we've all watched it now, or no? You haven't seen it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Definitely watch.
It's pretty good.
This is okay. I'm not gonna.
I mean, I don't know why anybody just doesn't go after Willie Hernan Gomez at this point. I mean, the guy was just dominating every single player.
I mean, I agree on that. I think there's no doubt that I would probably sign him to a $120 million contract.
Yep.
Did his cards go up because of the movie? I don't think so.
We should check Juan Hernan Gomez cards after that movie. It would be interesting.
I think he was. When was he drafted? Like 4 or 5 years ago, or something?
2018. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah, if I was,
Because there's there's Willie Hernan Gomez and then there's Juan Hernan Gomez, and I believe they're brothers.
Yeah.
That's
Wh-
correct.
which one's in the movie? Willie?
Juan. Also,
Juan.
Willie's
Oh,
in
Juan.
it, too.
They're both. in
Willie
it.
is in it.
They're both in it.
Yeah, they're both. In
I've never seen an Adam Sandler movie that I didn't like. I'll just say that. I haven't seen this one yet, but
Have you seen Jack and Jill?
yes,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have.
A real fan right there.
I am. I'm an Adam Sandler connoisseur.
Favorite Adam Sandler movie of all time?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough, man.
It's very easy. It's Happy Gilmore by a country
Does it
mile.
have?
And I
to-
like a lot
is
of
it
it.
Does it have to be a movie that
Uncut Gems as well.
that Adam Sandler?
haven't seen that
Could
one
it be
yet.
just one that Adam Sandler was in,
I
or
guess
does
so.
it have to be
Sure.
like an Adam? Oh, Airheads.
Yeah, good call.
That is a good one. Yeah, I think this is an underrated one, but I really liked Click for some reason. Click
Yes.
was a really good movie.
Yeah.
Just
That's for like the more like the family folks.
yeah, just being able to like fast forward through his life. I thought it was a pretty cool concept, and then the humor that came along with that. So,
And in a movie under the Happy Madison umbrella,
you're gonna be the cult classic.
Grandma's Boy.
Yes,
You know
Yeah.
that was coming.
cult
That was a
classic.
great one.
Cult classic. Yeah. So back to cards again. Sorry, getting off topic here, but yeah, that's crazy.
It's hard to do these podcasts and talk about cards every week. You got to switch in a little,
Yes.
little Taco Bell, little Adam Sandler.
Well, we talked about Hernan Gomez around it, so he's got cards. The orange refractor, is that down? I feel like the Mike Trout orange number to 25. I feel like
both those cards are down.
Vegas
The
Dave.
Jordan
I
and-
feel like Vegas Dave sold one for more than that a few years ago. I feel, but I could be wrong.
I think it is.
I feel like that
down
orange is
a
down.
little. Yeah.
Definitely down.
But I mean, Mike Trout. What are the Angels again this year? They're
But
not doing great, right?
and he's having a good year.
He's having a great year. Actually, did you see the other night?
And
It was
and Otani's having a good year.
Yep.
Like what is wrong with that team? Like, how do you have so many players have great years and put it together, and then the team just sucks?
They, other than Ohtani, they can't pitch. Also, they don't have a very good lineup outside of those two guys.
I think Ohtani should probably starting 3 to 4 games a week.
Yep.
Like pitching.
There was even last night they lost, and it was Trout hit a home run, Ohtani hit a home run, and had like 3 RBIs. They lost like 12-4.
Don't they have Syndergaard?
They have Syndergaard. He's
He's
actually
playing.
doing all right.
Oh yeah, he's back.
He's doing all right.
So he's doing okay as well.
Yeah.
So who is not?
Rendon's not doing it. He's hurt, right?
Rendon is hurt. He's been a massive disappointment. The bullpen, which they tried to fix, has been awful. And past Syndergaard and Patrick Sandoval, they don't have anybody in that rotation. And again, other than maybe 2 guys in that lineup, the rest of the lineup is bad.
And who's the coach right now?
Well,
Now it's Phil Nevin,
and
who
there
just
was-
got suspended 10
that's
games
right.
because of
And-
that huge brawl.
and they had
last
and
week.
Taylor Ward was doing pretty good.
Taylor Ward's doing well, but he's been hurt.
But my thing,
Brandon Marsh.
Not doing that well.
I know people are buying Trout, and this might be blasphemous because he's hobby golden boy when it comes to baseball. But like, say he's got like 8 more years, right? He's got 8 more years to play, and he retires. And can he break any records if he doesn't win any championships? Like, his price has got to go down, right? I mean, what are we gonna have to say if he retires in 19 years or whatever of playing baseball?
But we're gonna be able to. He probably hands down the best player of his generation.
But what, 2 MVPs, right? Does he have 2 MVPs?
I want to say 3, but
3?
at least 2.
Well, I mean,
He never won a batting title, right? He hasn't won
No.
a batting title. Never been in a playoff game. I think he played 1 playoff game.
One
right?
playoff series, and we all have as many hits in the playoffs as Mike Trout does, which is 0.
So I'm searching for like 30 years down the line. People are gonna be like, yeah, I got this Trout, and people are gonna be like, well, what did he do?
I think there's this is maybe the generation. I think there are going to be certain baseball fans who are going to say, oh, he is going to be, if there's any record he sets, maybe the most wins above replacement of all time, which is, I
Yes.
think, something he could do. But I think there's also going to be a generation gap between fans who go, okay, so what? What'd you wins above replacement? Well, you didn't win anything. You didn't win a World Series, So that might be the counter argument to that. But I think that is one firmly within his sights.
Yeah. I think Ruth has it, and then it's Bonds, right?
Yeah, but it's not like a
but
classic.
he'll be a
record,
first ballot Hall of Famer. He can
Yes.
retire. He can retire tomorrow.
He'll
and
be a first ballot.
Hall of Famer.
Well, I'm trying to think about the guys that have retired that sell well in the hobby. Did Griffey win a title?
No.
No.
Okay, so I guess there's that to look for. I mean,
He was
Griffey's still
on that Mariners team that won like
106
100
games.
He actually wasn't on that team.
he wasn't.
No,
That
it
was the
Ichiro,
the
yeah.
first year he got traded, and then Ichiro's
Oh,
there. Yeah.
that's right.
That was Ichiro and Randy, right?
Yep.
A-Rod,
No, not even Randy.
A-Rod was on that team.
He was not.
No,
No A-Rod. No Griffey.
Jay Buhner was on that team, right?
No.
That was way.
Brett Boone, John Olerud, Mike Cameron, and Ichiro. And Lou
the
Piniella.
God, dude.
Randy Johnson.
Nope.
This
Are you
was
sure the big
how
unit
about,
was
how about
not?
Jamie Moyer? How's that? Does that sound good too?
Well, he had to be on the team because he played.
Jamie Moyer, yeah,
he
he was
played. He played for 185 years.
Played for 7,000 years.
This is what Trout got to do, dude, to sustain his prices after he retires. His last contract, his last 10 years in the league, he has to go to the New York Yankees, something like that.
But that might hurt his rookie cards because then he's not going to be on the Yankees.
I think he would do just fine.
All
I
right,
think his rookies would do just fine.
so a little baseball what ifs, and you think it's going to happen? I do. Harper and Trout, do they play on the same team together in their
As old
career?
men, yeah.
I was sure it was going to happen when Harper got signed there. I was sure that the Angels are going to, because there was, I think before Harper signed, there was some talk that like, oh, Trout's contract expires in like a year or two, and then they went and signed him to a massive extension. But there's still a part of me.
In their late 30s, we're going to have Harper and Trout and Chris Bryant on the same team.
Right it back.
But, I actually thought Trout might wind up in Philly with Harper because of the Philly connection
Yeah.
for Trout.
He's a Philly
but,
guy, yeah.
How's his contract? It's like 10 years or something, though, right?
It's literally the most expensive contract in baseball, I think.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
if you're the Phillies, you're probably not.
You're going to have 2 of the 3 most expensive deals in baseball. on
Yeah.
your team.
Yeah, you have nobody else. So you have no pitching.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why I get. But I guess if you look at Griffey being the face of the resurgence of the '89 and Upper Deck and all that, and how well liked he was, I guess you can kind of put Trout in that same category in the 2000s to 2020s. I guess, right?
Yeah, I think
2010s to 2020s would be Trout. Similar to Griffey. So I guess there's that hope. I'm just looking at if you have some big cards and he just goes his whole career without winning anything.
You're
The
trying to
worst-
see
But
if
ha-
he's
but
gonna be
again,
like
how
Mantle
much
level.
how
Right.
much does a championship
It
change
doesn't
your
mean a
hobby
lot.
prices?
Yeah,
It doesn't.
it doesn't.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. I know we talk about Buster Posey all the time. It doesn't. He won 3 championships. Doesn't change his card value whatsoever.
True.
What do you have to do in baseball? It almost seems like your card values are going to be at their peak with the uncertainty of what you're going to do in your career at like where Wander is right now and where Juan Soto is at and where Ronald Acuna is at in their career. That's like their peak when it comes to monetary value for their cards.
I think Trout is kind of the formula for how you maintain it. It's that you come in with massive hype and then you immediately capitalize on it, and then you just start racking up awards and awards and awards. You're
See,
among
but he
league leaders
didn't
all the
have-
time.
He didn't have hype coming in.
Then that might be the other part of it too. Is either you come in kind of like Juan Soto, where you kind of came in out of nowhere and immediately wins the World Series, immediately is racking up awards, and so I think I think that's probably it. It's like you have to get out of the gate really fast, like a hot start, and maintain it for a huge amount of time to where then you're just
When did he win his first? Did he win an MVP early? Trout, did he win one in 2012?
I want to say his second year. He was second place because it was the Miguel Cabrera Triple Crown year. Was
Right.
his rookie year.
So he won one early, which I think solidified his hobby.
Yep.
And a lot of people were jumping in because in 2009 he was like I think it's 26th pick, 27th pick in the 2008 draft.
He won the Rookie of the Year in 2012, finished second in MVP voting his first 2 years, and then won 2014, won again in 2016.
So he definitely had
and he's won in 2019, so he's got 3.
So he definitely had the hype in his rookie year. I guess I should say as a prospect he didn't have the hype, and he actually got sent down. So he got called up and sent down. I think, which a lot of people were like, "Oh man, he's just going to be a bust." But he came out in 2012, won the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I want to add too, like when I first got back in the cards, like in 2012, 2013, I was always confused, like, as the years passed, like, because I'm not a huge baseball guy, and I broke baseball, but not too much, before I joined Mojobreak. But I was always confused, like, why is Mike Trout the main guy? And I would look like that's when I started to realize, like, oh, like you guys say, like, championships, world championships, series championships really don't matter, because I'm like, this is the high, like, everybody wants his cards. He's the most expensive guy in baseball, and I was always trying to figure out why, because when you look at football and basketball, it's like the championships really do add value to the guys' cards.
Baseball doesn't seem to matter as much. All right, well, let's talk about some autograph pavilion. So the NSCC is around the corner. That is in Atlantic City, and that's going to start July 27th and run through July 30th. 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, I believe, is Sunday. So 4 days at the National. There's a preview night on Wednesday. We will be there. We'll be doing free breaks. We got free shirts. There's going to be other stuff announced, so stay tuned on how you can participate in what we're doing at the National. But this is some of the autograph pavilion. So they have a big autograph pavilion that we never seem to be able to get to because we're busy. But there's some early signers. Frank Gore is going to be a first-time signer. Odell Beckham and Floyd Mayweather going to be there on the list as well. So, which we were talking about off air. We were surprised that he's going there to sign because he's the money team. Why does he need the money? Why does he got to fly out to Atlantic City? So I'm sure a lot of people will be there trying to get Floyd signed gloves.
Oh, hell yeah.
Memorabilia, as known as one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Yeah,
Never lost.
It doesn't seem like an event that he would go to, but hey, that's pretty cool they got him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Atlantic City drew him to the area. Maybe he's tired of Vegas. He's going to try his hand at the Borgata or the Harrah's or Bally's.
Man, wonder how much like Frank Gore would be for an autograph. Got to be $100.
Probably, I would think so. Yeah, I mean, he's top 3 running back of all time. So, right? Can we say that Frankie's in the top 3 of all time?
I mean, in terms of rushing yards.
I don't know. I mean, he played for how long?
Stats don't lie.
I mean, Emmitt Smith played longer.
I mean, I'm not saying I could have put up those type of stats, but I probably would have put up some decent
I
ones
think
if I played for 22 years.
I will say, how many running backs actually last that long? I think that has to go into
Especially modern day.
consideration to argue for old Frank our good
He's
friend.
no Kevin Barlow. That's it.
Fair enough.
I'm actually bidding on a card. I'm surprised I got to outbid. It's ridiculous. It's a 1-of-1 flawless. It's Roger Craig, Frank Gore, and Garrison Hurst, and it's just like all 49 patches, the 4 patches. And I put a top bid at 1,000, and I already got outbid.
That's what
I
we
got
call
outbid.
That's shill bidding right there.
Well, I did see it posted in a 49er collector room, so I don't know if we're all bidding against each other. So I think I'm out. 1-of-1 flawless, just patch, but it's encased too, so it was one of the encased hits. But literally, probably the 3 best running backs in Niners history, I would say.
With the 49 patch. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah, it was a really nice looking card. So I was bidding on that. On a side note, who is your favorite running back of all time, Cody?
It's probably
Who's the
Frank.
best?
The best. I'll probably lean Walter Payton
Like
as the best.
like favorite?
Favorite is Frank Gore, but the best, if you had to, it's Walter Payton in my book.
If you had to say the best of all time, what are you saying, Josh Jacobs?
The best of all times, Bo Jackson. My favorite is Marshall Faulk.
Ooh, I
geez.
get down with that.
Yeah, maybe the Colts one.
Best of all time, Adrian Peterson.
What?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You'll be able to get his autograph. First time signer at the
Dude,
the
that
Nationals this year.
guy was Dude, that guy dominated. And honestly, you guys are saying Walter Payton. How many Walter Payton games have you guys watched on TV?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
We got YouTube.
we all grew up.
You guys, he said it, not
We
me.
got YouTube. I can watch it.
Yeah, I mean, Adrian Peterson. We all saw what he did.
Did he
year
win a
in and
title?
year out. Dude, nobody cares about titles.
Which actually, I can't say that because my guy didn't win a title either.
But my
Barry
favorite,
Sanders. Barry Sanders is my favorite.
But
of all
my
time.
favorite, Steven Jackson.
Those bad Rams years. He was the only
Whatever,
reason. He was
man.
the
That
only reason.
guy carried.
LaDainian Tomlinson's up there for me too. I was
Yeah.
a big LT fan back in the day.
Yeah, I think it'd be Barry Sanders for me, and then maybe Emmitt Smith second.
Yeah.
So I think widely regarded, Emmitt Smith would be known as the greatest of all time if you had a vote around the world.
If you
right?
had to vote based on the yards, yeah, I guess he does have no one has ran for more yards.
He is number 1, so he's got that going for him.
Does he have the most touchdowns too? No,
No, I don't believe so.
Who has the most touchdowns for running backs?
I'd have to look that up.
But I mean, there was guys who were like Chris Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
He had a couple of years that were just ridiculous.
Jamal Charles.
Jamal Charles.
Had Jamal Charles on my fantasy team that 2,000-yard year.
Dude. Woo. There was a game I was playing against him, and I think he had like 6 it was against the Raiders. And he was catching. He caught like 3 touchdowns. He ran 3 touchdowns or something. It was,
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Why did I think Jamal Charles? I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Jamal Lewis.
Oh, yes.
Remember when he had 2,000 yards with
Yes,
the Ravens?
with the
And then that
Ravens.
was it.
yeah, Jamal Charles, Chris Johnson. Those were like the catching running back kind of period where it started to kind of transform into what we have today of guys have to catch the ball.
I think if you're a running back, you almost have to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield, or your team has to have a specialist that's kind of what they do.
Yeah.
Like that.
I would say the only probably modern running back that's a throwback is probably just Derrick Henry. I mean,
Yeah.
Beyond that, it's all everybody has like 3 running backs. One's a short yard, one's a
Yeah, the days of like what we would call like an every down back are non-existent. I mean, even Henry, like they have like 3 to 4 running backs on that team that'll get carries.
Yeah. So the autograph pavilion, there's a big list. You could just type in NSCC into a search engine. What's actually the website of the national?
NSCCshow.com. By the way, here's some. I'll throw these guys at you. Some notable first timers that'll be there. Which of these guys you would wait in line for? We got Dick Vermeil, Ed Reed, Adrian Peterson. You mentioned him. Brian Bosworth. First
Boz.
time. The Boz will be there.
I swear he's been there before, but guess
It
not.
feels it's when I saw first timer, I went, that can't be right. The Boz, although I feel like he's appeared in movies lately. Like he's kind of had a second wind as an actor.
He's definitely signed at other TriStar shows, so just not this one apparently.
right. Floyd Mayweather is mentioned. Paul Pierce, Odell Beckham. We were talking before. I can't remember. I was just thinking like. An active player being there is interesting, but I know, Dan, you were saying he's hurt.
Yeah, he won't be ready to play until November. So
Yeah, but very seldom that you get a guy who is probably going to play actual games at this event, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Chuck Liddell, UFC, Dan Marino, his first time,
Wow.
and Michael Vick. Who else will be there?
Got to go get some isotoner gloves signed by Dan Marino.
Absolutely.
I know who's gonna need some security at in Atlantic City.
Who?
From some folks.
Oh, Mike Vick.
Number 7.
Never forget. I think Dan Marino would be a cool autograph meet and greet there.
And
Joe Montana's going to be there, but not his first time.
Yeah, that would be cool to get Dan. Do they allow you to like if you of course if you get out of you get something signed, you got to get back in line for another person. But do they allow you to get multiple autographs on like the same item?
That's what I was thinking. It'd be cool to have a Dan Marino, Joe Montana. There's probably some
Yep.
cards that are unsigned of both of them on the same card, right?
Yeah.
That would be cool. I don't know. I know there's each guy has his own like set of rules. Some people don't sign certain things. Some people don't do inscriptions. You know,
I'm sure they'll tell you there at the event.
Yeah, and I think there is, as the event gets closer, prices are posted. And like I said, I wish I had more advice for people willing to do this, but I've never done it, so I don't have advice to really give you guys. I know if you get the certain levels of the VIP, maybe you have to wait in a shorter line, so if that's something you want to save time in.
I would say that be patient and get ready to wait in lines if you're going for the autograph pavilion, because I mean we've walked by it and it's usually pretty intense.
Yeah, it's pretty packed. But yeah, I mean, you could find out what you can bring. Like I said, certain guys won't accept certain things. I know it was like, I can't remember the player. There was a player recently that would refuse to sign like a tagline that he's known for. Like, God, I can't remember. I know Buckner was signing the under the leg photo, and I think he doesn't sign it now. Not that he's there, but he was signing those.
I think Bill Buckner, didn't he pass away?
Yeah, Billy Buckner no longer with
so
us.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Sadly known for that play when he actually had a really good career.
But I think for a long time, getting back to your story, yeah, he wouldn't sign that photo. But I think later on he ended up signing it with, I think it's Mookie Wilson, who basically ended up getting the hit, and they both you could see it. There's photos probably on eBay where both of them have signed it.
Oh, you know what it is now? I remembered. Randy Johnson will not put the big unit on anything signed anymore.
Huh.
So
I thought you were going to say Randy Johnson won't sign a picture of the bird exploding.
he won't do that either.
Ah,
Yeah, he won't sign those photos.
come on.
Because they were having a signing somewhere, and it came on my Facebook, and it was like, he will not sign the big unit, and he will not sign bird photos. So
What about just a picture of a bird?
Wait a minute. So I've got. Let me find that card. There it is. You telling me he won't sign that?
Yeah.
Will he
come
sign that?
on.
probably not.
Ah,
I know that would be a cool piece to have, right?
yeah. Oh well.
So we've got, I'll have Cody take over on this. What's going up in a down market? Because I see a lot of cards that I have no idea.
Yeah, that's kind. I mean, I'll be honest. So yesterday I was like, boy, you got to talk about. Unfortunately, we're in a down market right now. That people are throwing around the big R word. It could be another recession. I had to say it real quietly. And so I think there's some people, especially if you've invested a lot in sports cards or cards in the last couple of years, you're thinking, well, everything's gone dipping down a little bit, and it's, wondering, is there anything out there that's going up? Well, I tried to do a little research and found that there is still stuff that is worth investing in. There's still some stuff that, or if you're holding on to some stuff, that maybe you should take another look, because there still is stuff that is going up right now. So, some of the things I found, I'll get it up on the slides here. The first things that really caught my eye were sort of vintage stuff. I think a lot of vintage stuff is still doing relatively well. I've got on the slide like a 54 Willie Mays, just an SGC 7, but the price of it steadily going up and spiking at times. Base cards or variations of big hobby stars, Tom Brady, Ken Griffey Jr., Michael Jordan, but not those like rookie cards you would expect that everybody wants. Stuff that's like from later in their career, or just a second year card. That stuff tends to still be doing pretty well. And also, I think I just still have to throw it out there, wrestling's still doing pretty well, even after some of the dips for WWE Prism. Overall, some singles wrestling cards like I have on the screen there from our friends over at Card Ladder, a gold refractor Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I think I've even said on the show that I think that stuff specifically from The Rock, I think is actually a really good investment, just because there are probably 5 celebrities that anyone on the street could name, and one of them is Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and there are cards of him out there.
I know he has a Miami Hurricane card. It's like ridiculous, which is hard to get. But it's interesting. You have this Rock Johnson gold refractor, and the first. I mean, if you look at the card ladder data, so there's only been 3 sales in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
But there during the height in July of 2021, which is kind of still the really big boom era. Looks like that card sold for under $1,000, but then recently sold for this price, which is crazy. So $5,600, pop 4. Why the big jump? I don't understand.
I just
It's
think,
one of those pieces that you have to have, and there's very few of them.
Yeah, I think part of it is the just spike in interest too in wrestling cards in general.
That looks like that transaction happened right around when Prism, Panini Prism Wrestling
March
came out.
31st.
Yeah. So people may have been speculating on the boom that we're going to have with Panini Prism. So go back and get the Topps Chrome and then capitalize on that.
I'm assuming that's
market.
his first wrestling card, maybe WWE card for that matter.
Ooh, 2014?
I don't know.
I think there's some. I
gotta
gotta
be.
think there's
or
other
maybe it's
sets.
because it's a gold refractor. It's numbered. The other ones might not be numbered.
Right. And I
Could
think
be the first year of Chrome they did for wrestling.
True.
And I think also the thing to keep in mind here, obviously a lot of these are really low pop, but I think that's another thing to keep in mind. If you're looking at things where like this is really low pop, and it's whether it's vintage or whatever, like I think that's always it's something I think you guys have preached a ton of times. It's like look at the pop report, and you'll start to see that these things start to trend upward, even when things are going down a little.
Well, it's almost like and I don't want to say why people are buying Willie Mays because I think it's wrong, but I know why people are buying Willie Mays. But if you look at the graph on that one, July 12th again sold for $600, and then all of a sudden it sold for $3,000. So it's almost like if you have a card like this, you could hold out and wait for that person that really wants it. Especially if you're dealing with low pop. And so many people are using comps to decide. And if somebody would have sold this based on comps, they would have sold it for $600, right? Mm-hmm. But they held out. And they're like, somebody's going to really want this. So now it sold for $3,100. So is that the new comp now, right? So sometimes comps don't even matter when it comes to cards like this. When you're dealing with population of a couple or 4 in the regards of the Rock card, is that you could literally name your price. What do you want to give me? I don't want to sell it. Sometimes people get desperate. They need the money. They got to sell it. But if you don't have to sell it, you can kind of wait for the right price.
Yeah. The other thing that I found out, that Garbage Pail Sapphire product that came out?
Yeah.
It's a $2,000 box.
We have it, right?
Yeah. Well, I
was just about to say, I noticed that the trend, just on social media and stuff, I noticed that anything Topps put out that's sapphire now is just gold. It's literal gold.
Star Wars.
It doesn't
think,
matter
yeah.
what sapphire. Garbage Pail Kids, Star Wars, obviously F1's extremely hot. Regular baseball sapphire is all usually pretty good as well. But
is that going to take over the Chrome Refractor? Is it going to be like the Sapphire one's the one we want? Or is that like... Because I know we had Tiffany in base, but we didn't have refractors.
I almost want to say it's just like it's like a trend or
It's a
fad.
trend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think I would rather, if you're like a Lewis Hamilton collector, right? I think I'd rather have the refractor out of the hobby rather than the sapphire base, right?
Now, with that said, I mean, I get it. The sapphire cards look damn cool. I love that blue cracked ice, man. It's like mesmerizing to look at.
Atomic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
as some might say.
And then we have some other. So we have some other weird
Blue
cards.
cracked ice. Always nice.
Is that a $68,000 Iron Man card?
Yeah. So Marvel cards.
specifically precious metal gems?
That's the thing is to keep in mind is the precious metal gems, which are really hard to come by. The pop report is obviously super low, and there's still a lot hanging around that we clearly don't know about that people are holding on to. But those things, it's one where too, I think it's maybe trends towards Marvel in general. I think Marvel and kind of also Star Wars. You guys talked about the Star Wars Sapphire set or the Star Wars set that just came out. That Sapphire set that was pretty in demand. these are massive brands and massively popular things, like especially Marvel, which is kind of, as much as I love Star Wars, it pains me to say this, it is the dominant pop culture brand and movie brand of the 21st century so far. So it just, I think that there's still a ton of room to grow for some of this stuff, as crazy as these prices are for some of this Marvel stuff. And I don't know do you guys know where the Marvel brand stands right now? I think Upper Deck still has a hold
Upper
of
Deck,
it, right?
Yeah.
So I just think, like, so where, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm not as hip to the Marvel stuff right now, that there's more stuff coming down the pipeline, but seeing what these cards go for and seeing how popular Marvel is more than it was in 2013, that's for damn sure. I don't really know why we don't see more of that stuff, I guess.
Well,
It's also the iconic PMG, like, of
yes,
anything.
that too.
Well, this is what I was going to say. I was just talking to somebody about this with the soccer market. The reason soccer was hot like 2 years ago is because there was like 3 sets a year, right? So you had Prism and you had a couple other sets. Now in 2022, we have 150 sets a year. So the allure to the Marvel might be because there's only a few of them.
Right.
And if the Upper Deck's like, well, we got the demand, let's make more. I mean, we have some stuff called Marvel Annual that doesn't sell. And so it's like you kind of want them to not make as much, even though you do want to have more. It's like a catch-22. You don't want to have more because you want the value to stay around for the ones that they did make. But like the soccer market right now is, there's still great cards out there and there's still rookies performing, but there's just so many releases coming out. I mean, we have like a soccer product coming out every year between the Topps and Panini, and you got the World Cup around the corner, and you got like Obsidian, there's Chronicles, there's Chrome Women, there's Chrome Champions League, and there's MLS, and it's like so many different soccer sets. It's like these collectors don't know where to go, and they sit sets out and they wait for some of the ones they really want. And I think that the market on soccer, I know it's international market, we always preach about that, but like I don't think there's many collectors as there is baseball, football, especially in the States. So interesting. On a side note, that Star Wars card, $4,500. Is that the 77 Star Wars card you want?
From the 77. No, it's not the one you would want. You would probably want the Luke Skywalker. Obviously, there's the infamous C-3PO card from the Series 2 that a lot of people would want. But I think it's telling, that card, which is what? That would be the Darth Vader card. What is it? The villainous Darth Vader card. Just anything from that set is pretty in demand, and it is kind of starting to turn, I think, into like how anything vintage, doesn't matter what it's graded, you're gonna want it in your collection. And I think that 77 Star Wars set, and I think a lot of early Star Wars sets, I think has the potential to kind of turn into that for people who and I think there's still a crossover with a lot of sports fans and with Star Wars fans too.
Well, I was just gonna mention that before we close out the show here. Do we think some of these guys that jumped in the boom, like in the Mosaic era, and they started buying all these cars, watching them go down, do you think some of these have transitioned into like Marvel and Star Wars?
No, I think those guys are out.
You think those guys are just gone?
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, like F1, nobody really and then everybody jumped into F1 because like nobody was in it, and then everybody was in it.
Yeah. And F1 still also is one of those that's still maintaining a lot of popularity.
Yeah,
No, I think those group of guys who see who are like, oh, this is where the potential is. They are moving, like this is the same group, that F1 group that definitely is starting to probably pump some Star Wars.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like that new. It's like when you discover a band for the first time. Like, oh, I saw this band, they're local, and they're like not very big, and I'm gonna buy their CD, and I found them. And then it's like, then once everybody else listens to them, it's like, I don't really like them as much anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then you find a new band. So it's like,
next big band.
Yeah. It's
you
like
mean when they become Nickelback?
Yeah. It's like the Mosaic became Nickelback. Now people were like, oh, how about Fleer? How about Marvel? How about F1 Chrome? It's like
I have a feeling that's what's happening.
Well, everybody wants to be first to a trend, and it's also financially beneficial to be first to the trend.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
and there's people who are always, like Conrad was saying, they're like going through and just figuring out like where they're going to be able to get ahead of the curve.
Yes. And influence all their friends and people around them, right?
Exactly.
So All right, well, that pretty much does it for the show, guys. Once again, use that code BELL, B-E-L-L, for 15% off on Mojobreak.com flash sale, so use it now. And we got next week's show. We're going to be ramping up for the Nationals, so we'll have some news on how to get in promos, how to join our free stuff, what we got going on. There'll probably be more news coming out of Panini's camp, Topps' camp, on what's going down at the show. I know the guys previewed the NFT party. There's going to be another party, I think, on Saturday with Panini, so hopefully we have some news in that in the next coming weeks. So make sure you guys follow us at Mojobreak_com on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe here on YouTube. All right, guys. Peace.